Welcome everyone to another video from the Secrets of the Jedi canon book. For those unfamiliar with this video series, here I break down an excerpt from the Secrets of the Jedi canon book that came out a few years ago, which is basically written from Luke Skywalker's point of view, like a diary where he wrote about almost everything, whether it be the different Jedi of the Republic or galactic events from before he was born. And once I finish this series, there are two more books that focus on the Sith and bounty hunters that I'll get into next, so make sure to subscribe if that interests you at all. Let's get into it. The fallen chosen one and right hand to Emperor Palpatine, Darth Vader terrorized the galaxy and had numerous clashes with his son, Luke, as they fought on opposite sides of the galactic civil war. Here's everything Luke learned about Darth Vader. He may have managed to survive his duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Mustafar, but for all intents and purposes, the man who was once Anakin Skywalker died on that lava-drenched world. His charred remains were recovered and rebuilt into something new, the towering obsidian warlord known as Darth Vader. Now more machine than man, the love and compassion that had once ruled his decisions were now replaced by pain and anger. Under the command of the Emperor, Vader decimated everything in his path on his relentless mission to crush the rebellion. Having witnessed his cruelty firsthand, I found it nearly impossible to accept that a monster like Vader could have once been the same gallant warrior that Obi-Wan had written about in his journals, which I discovered after his death. But my father's fall from grace also taught me a valuable lesson, that any of us, no matter how noble, could give into the dark side, and if we did, the galaxy would suffer in our wake. The one helpful takeaway that I had from this excerpt is that much of this information comes from the journals of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I assumed that his Force ghost had communed with Luke at some point down the line, passing on the teachings of the old Jedi Order, which would have made sense to me, but learning it from his journals means that maybe Obi-Wan didn't appear to Luke too often following the fall of the Empire. There are two bits of information that I'm surprised or disappointed that they weren't touched on here. Luke never mentions anything about his father's return to the light side of the Force before his death, only his tragic fall and all of the pain and death that he inflicted as the Emperor's right-hand man. It was briefly mentioned earlier in the book, but this is a spot where I would have expected to see it again. Something that I'm disappointed that was never brought up was the influence that Padme Amidala, Luke's mother, had on the fall of Anakin Skywalker and the birth of Darth Vader. Her death during childbirth was the main reason that Anakin ended up falling, and even as Vader, the possibility of bringing her back to life was still a major motivator during the early years of the Empire. For all we've seen of Luke, it feels like he knows very little about his mother and what she did, despite them being so similar in some ways. In order to keep canon in line with what we see in Return of the Jedi, where Luke asks Leia about their mother on Andor, we haven't seen Luke learn much in the comics yet, but anything said after Return of the Jedi, after their family secrets have been revealed, it would be nice to go through and see Luke learn more about the good that his mother did. Let me know what you think of this excerpt in the comments below. Remember to like the video, and subscribe for more videos breaking down this book. And remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always.